Japan's Vesuvius, the Sakurajima volcano that keeps erupting all the time at the moment, is only 31 miles, that is 50 kilometers away from the Sendai Nuclear Power Plant. So it's relatively close to nuclear facilities. Is this a problem? The scientists say yes. Sakurajima is one of Japan's most active volcanoes, and its proximity to a nuclear power plant has raised public and scientific concern. The Sendai Nuclear Power Plant in the Kagoshima prefecture is the nearest active nuclear power plant to the Sakurajima volcano, and it was restarted in 2015 despite the volcanic risk objections from experts. The distance is not very far away. It's within range of heavy ash fallout, of course depending on the wind direction and the eruption magnitude. So could volcanic ash? That was my first thought. That's why I researched it. I had planned to make only a video about the eruption today and how that affects the city of Kagoshima. So I have attached this segment at the front of the video because while I was editing my video, I was wondering, well, the ash and the particles, is that a problem for the cooling water? They have to get that from somewhere, for any air. And I researched it, and this is what I found. So could this volcanic ash affect the plant? Volcanic ash can clog intake filters in systems that use seawater or fresh water for cooling. I was right with that thought. Ash can contaminate reservoirs or reduce flow efficiency in pipes and pumps. And we know for airplanes, it can be fatal if that ash clogs their engines. So in a large eruption of Kagoshima, the power plant might need to switch to backup cooling sources or shut down systems to protect them. Air vents, HVAC systems. Fine ash can clog air filters, damage turbines, and disrupt air circulation in control rooms, and also backup generators could hurt the generators. Ash is abrasive and electrically conductive when wet, increasing the risk of short circuits and equipment failure. Ashfall can block roads, reduce visibility, and interrupt power lines, hindering emergency response or staff evacuation. The NRA, the Nuclear Regulation Authority, has insisted that plants like Sendai must have volcanic hazard assessments and contingency plans. But critics argue that predicting large eruptions is still too uncertain, and the evacuation plans for nuclear power plants in high volcanic zones are not sufficient. Yeah, evacuation plans is the one thing, but we don't want this thing to blow up. But you need to hear more about that volcano. If you see that monstrosity of a cloud coming towards your town, what would you do? I would run. Maybe if you live there and you know there's a volcano, they call it Japan's Vesuvius. Sakurajima, the volcano, has been rumbling quite a bit recently. And now this eruption, and the daytime pictures are already mind-blowing. But if you see what it did at night, absolutely amazing apostrophe, because it's so close to densely populated areas. So in Kagoshima, that's the city that we see on these pictures. It's not a small city. Further eruptions occurred on the Sakurajima volcano that is located on an island, or let's say it used to be an island, because all the lava that it was spewing out has basically built a bridge from the island to the mainland, which is kind of nice because it's a good tourist destination. Not right now, of course. So it's approximately 10 kilometers from Kagoshima, and volcanic ash rose to an altitude of 4,300 meters today above sea level during an eruption. And at that time, it was already evening, almost 9 p.m. in Japan, and the live camera footage shows how it's spewing out like this dark reddish tephra, how it's called. It was ejected several hundred meters above the crater, and then it was falling on the volcanic slope a good as far away as almost a mile, like 1,000 meters. And this is really dangerous. That's why they have really a security zone around the volcano, and people needed to stay away from that. And the interesting part, and I told it in my last video, because Kagoshima is so close. The kids are wearing helmets when they go outside because this thing could blow something at any time. So it's not really convenient as a kid if you're outside and you have to wear a helmet, and most of the times they have to wear a mask. And something else that's very interesting, throughout the city and in this area, they have these little stone huts where you'd think, is this a bus stop? What is it? No, it's a volcano shelter. So you're walking around in your city and then poof, the volcano starts spewing again. You go in there so that you're not being hit by that glowing volcanic rock stuff that keeps blowing at you, like the tephra stuff. These little volcanic rocks, they're like bullets. They have ended people in other areas. Stromboli in Italy, for example. Guy was hiking the slope and then it erupted. And we don't need magmatic lava eruptions for that. It's like the White Island, right? Pyroclastic explosion, phreatic eruption. That is really bad. But these pictures that I saw today from Sakurajima, I thought I have to show you guys. I know my channel right now is on the slide with Silky and not on the pulse with Silky because of that devastating landslide in Switzerland. The village of Blatten has been buried. If you haven't heard about that, guys, you have to see this. They say for Switzerland, this is not even a catastrophe of the century. It's a catastrophe of the millennium. So I put the videos in the end screen. It's very, very sad. And here in Japan, hopefully nobody's going to be hurt by this, but the pictures, wow. If that's Vesuvius-like, I don't want Vesuvius to erupt again. So the Japanese Meteorological Agency has reported there have been several previous eruptions yesterday. It has spewing around already, and a major explosion has occurred. There's several craters at the Minami Dake summit crater of Sakurajima. And an eruption cloud rose to over 1,000 miles up in the air above the crater level, not above sea level. And it has reached the cloud cover. And of course, then these volcanic rock fragments were hurled in a ballistic trajectory, approximately half a mile, and they landed near a measuring station that they have there. So between these highly explosive eruptions, there are long periods during which steam clouds containing some volcanic ash are emitted as well. So the kids right now, they're wearing the masks and they're wearing the helmets. You know, if I had a kid there, I would go further. I think they should wear goggles. You know, if you wear a helmet, what does that help you if these bullet-like rocks hit you in the face? So goggles or a full helmet, like a motorcycle helmet, right? So starting May 28th until today, including several small eruptions were observed at Sakurajima, particularly in the southern crater area, in addition to these other phenomena that I just talked about. So explosive activity has increased again yesterday. And then also we had volcanic earthquakes. Of course, if something's coming up from underneath, it creates earthquakes. So today, a little less strong earthquakes, which is kind of strange because it contradicts with the very high sulfur dioxide that the volcano is spitting out. And we know if there's earthquakes, if there's sulfur dioxide, increased emissions, if there's any land rise or something, these are all indications that something might come. So why is the sulfur dioxide rising and the earthquakes are going back? But maybe this is only temporary. Sulfur dioxide emissions are at 3,500 tons per day. And they have taken measurements like tilt and strain sensors on the island. Basically, I call that island Sakurajima. And it shows that the mountain remains slightly inflated. So what do I mean with inflated? If something's coming up from deeper underneath, it's inflating. The land is rising. So it hasn't deflated. So what has come out so far, the pressure that has been released, is not all. There is still fuel in this thing. So we could see more. But what has stopped apparently is a further expansion of the volcano. So right now, not more pressure is building up. Maybe it's stagnant right now because it's constantly releasing the pressure. So for now, this can change at any second. No noticeable changes have been detected that would indicate an increased expansion of that volcano. But there are some controversial reports. So I guess we have to wait a little bit, because some Japanese news outlets have reported that the inflation has started again. So which is it? I hope we will know soon. And what is definitely for sure, the Japanese Meteorological Agency warns of the continued activity. They say there is a possibility that future eruptions in the near future will be accompanied by pyroclastic flows. Of course, all the access restrictions at Sakurajima remain in place because of the fact that more is about to come. And of course, I will keep you updated about that if the landslide gives me some time. I haven't done too much volcanic stuff in the recent days, but this is so unique what's happening in Switzerland. It really needed that coverage, and I'm actually working on another update. So guys, really check my channel, click on the videos, click on recent videos. There you see all these videos, and really you should binge watch this because the pictures are, I don't want to say stunning, they're saddening, they're shocking. This whole village is buried, then it was flooded, and now we could see a major flood going downstream. So nature and its force is after us, it seems. But the Swiss authorities have done a great job so far in evacuating everyone in time, really in time, and very, very fast, very coordinated. And the same thing is progressing now. They're very good at what they're doing, I think. So guys, I hope you're safe and sound wherever you are. I mean, be aware where you live, what could happen, and plan accordingly. I hope you're all safe, guys. If you like what you see, give it a like, subscribe, join our team of volcano, earthquake, landslide, stuff like this. Freaks. We are freaks, but we're nice ones. Join our conversations in the comments. And if you want to support the channel, I have a Buy Me a Coffee site. If you buy me some coffee and you send me a message, I can reply with a 30-second video message. That's what the program allows. And then you can video me back, and then I can video you back, so we can have a conversation and see each other. So thanks for that, guys. Thanks for the supers. Shout out to all my channel members. You guys are awesome. I have a new video for you. I just have to edit it. I have actually 5 new videos for you guys. But again, the landslide kept me so busy, but these videos will come, so stay tuned. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.